Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning. And I want to thank you so much for joining us here today. We are here live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And this week, we've been talking about finding your spark. And that's so important because we want to have that thing that we just pop out of the bed every single day. And so that's what we've been talking about this week is finding your spark. And we went through 4 very powerful questions yesterday. And one of which was, are you settling? And so I thought today would be very timely to talk about this idea of settling and figure out if we are in fact settling in our lives or not. So, but first, I would love if you would hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because the more subscribers that we have, the message we are able to spread at a faster pace. So that's just how the algorithm works. I don't make the rules. I just abide by them. So the intention here with Mindset in the Morning is just that, is to get intentional about our lives, to get us thinking about these things like, are we settling in our life? How do we regain that spark? How do we step out and step into the most powerful version of ourselves every single day? How do we get that confidence to build that business? How do we get the confidence to ask for that raise? How do we step out and find that relationship that we've always wanted? These things that we drive for in our life and we strive for, and yet sometimes we don't bring them into fruition because maybe we're afraid, or maybe there's some other, limiting beliefs that are holding us back. So we talk about those. We pick a topic every single morning, and then we go out and face the day. So that's why this is Mindset in the Morning, to get our morning right, to get our minds right, and to go out and face the day. So we have limitless possibilities. Pretty straightforward. And I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host. So with that, we're going to dig into, are you settling or not? And there are some questions that we can ask ourselves. And then I want us to work our way out of it, not just ask ourselves some of these questions, but really assess our lives. And one of the themes that we talk about here on the show a lot is asking yourself these questions and getting intimate with yourself. I don't know about you, but I just skated through life for a long time. And I just popped up out of bed and I just started my day and started doing things. Now, I was always very avid working out in the morning and, being intentional about some of these things, but I didn't stop to ask myself, how do I feel? How does this make me feel? How do I want to feel? That was never a conversation that I had with myself. And now I'm at a point where in my life, like this morning, I woke up, and I don't do this every day, but I'm like, thank you, heart, for continuing to beat, and I give my body gratitude for making it through another day, which, okay, oh, she looks young and healthy. Sure. But young and healthy people still might, it's not as common. People aren't just falling out in the middle of the night, but you never know. And I've seen more recently here, I've seen on Facebook, just different people passing away. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, life is short. Life is so precious. And so we need to give our bodies thanks, give our bodies gratitude. We need to, make sure that we're living our best life, because the truth is you get one shot at this. And I don't know when your final resting day is. I don't know when my final resting day is, but I know whenever it is, I want to look and say, wow, I had a great life. Wow, I loved my life. I don't want to have any of these regrets saying, wow, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I just don't. That's me anyway. So I really don't want to settle. I don't want to settle in my life. And again, and I say this all the time, I am so afraid of being 80 years old and just saying, man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and maybe not having the time or the energy to then change things. You could still do things when you're 80, but I'm just saying, what I'm talking about. So are you settling? So let's see if some of these resonate with you. So do you think about something in your life, but you do a lot, but you do a little? So you think about something a lot, but you're doing it a little. Maybe it's this move. Maybe it's a career change. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's getting in a relationship. Maybe it's wanting to start a family. I don't know what that might look like for you, but do you think about it a whole lot and you're actually not working towards those goals? Does that resonate? I think I do that a lot with certain things, especially relationships. I mean, sometimes I think, no, I mean, I'm totally fine not being in a relationship. But then sometimes I think, yeah, that would be nice, but I'm not doing anything. So am I settling? Arguably. And we can do a whole talk on, are we just comfortable or are we settling? And we can talk about that too, because there is a difference. And and there are days and just be in full transparency that I think, you know what, I'm building my business, I'm doing, these things, and I don't have time for all of that. And then there are other days and I think, yeah, that would be nice. So I flip-flop back and forth between the two. So I don't know, maybe I am being comfortable, or, I'm good, like right where I'm at. Or maybe I'm just settling. I'm settling because I don't know, maybe it's easier, or, oh, then I don't have to do the work, right? Like, how many times do we find ourselves saying, well, then I don't have to do the work. And that's just easier than going out and putting in the time, going on a bazillion dates with a bunch of yahoos, finding that one diamond in the rough that's left. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's easier than that, but that's how it feels. So I don't know. Are you thinking about something a lot in your life and doing a little? And how do you feel about that? Again, going back to asking yourself those powerful questions. How does that make you feel? Do you find that that you're jealous of other people's success? I remember when I went to the state fair one year and I really wanted to be in a relationship and I was not in a relationship. And I looked around and I was very jealous of everybody. In fact, I had to leave the state fair. I had gone by myself. I saw everybody all coupled up. And all of a sudden I was like, why are they all in relationships and I can't find a relationship and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like so I left. I left. It was too much for me to take. But are you doing that with people in your life? And maybe you see somebody and you don't necessarily want exactly what they have, but like their business, like maybe they have a restaurant. You're like, I don't want a restaurant, but I want that amount of money. Okay. So maybe there's something about them. Maybe you don't want to be in a relationship, but you want to have kids, or maybe you want a business. You don't want a business, but you want the money, or I don't know, whatever that may be. But do you find yourself that you're jealous of other people? When we have these feelings that creep up, like jealousy, anger, fear, frustration, rage, resentment, this is a window to the inside of what's going on. And that should be our sign that something isn't right. It's like when you step on a pebble, you're like, that didn't feel good. Something's not right. That's what these feelings are telling us. And so they're not bad feelings, but we need to address them. We need to say, hey, what's actually going on? And start to peel the layers back. And what you may find if you're jealous is that you're actually complacent, is that you're actually settling in your life. You want more, but maybe you're not willing to do the work. Or maybe you are doing the work and maybe it's just you're not there yet. I don't know. I don't know what that may look like, but it's a good chance that maybe you're just settling. Do you find yourself saying, well, someday, yeah, Monday, I'm going to start. Yeah, someday I'll do that thing. Someday I'll get there. If you're saying someday, it means you want whatever it is, and you just keep punting the ball down the field. One day. Well, one day may be too late. I don't know. So are you settling? Are you settling for whatever your life is now with that idea in mind that someday I'm going to do that thing? I'm going to get into that relationship. I'm going to build that business. I'm going to find that group of friends. I'm going to move to that location. I'm going to buy that outfit. I'm going to whatever it is. And you have this idea in mind of what your future is going to look like. And it's amazing. But for now, I'm just going to be here. But one day, someday, I'll be there. How do we close that gap on your life? So that should be a settling. Potentially, I am settling. And there are lots of variables. I'm saying these at a very high level. You may think like, hey, yeah, but I really want this multi-million-dollar home, but I actually cannot afford it someday. Someday I will get there. So there are variables like we can't afford, but you can start making steps towards like, are you making the steps towards getting that multi-million-dollar home? Or are you just on your couch, with the clicker, like, someday, and you keep watching like those shows where they're like Hollywood mansions and you're like someday, but you're not doing anything. Do you see the difference? Like, are you making progress towards that goal, or are you just like anyway? They're much larger topics. We're just talking at a very high level. All right, maybe you don't think you can. Get real with yourself. Are you thinking that I can't do that? And if that's the case, maybe you're settling. You're not even giving yourself the chance to go try it out, to go do the thing. Our brains are designed, and we talk about this here, they're designed to keep us safe. We don't know what's on the other side. And our brain's like, I know what's over here, and this looks good over here. Even if it's dysfunctional, it knows what it is. Over here is the great unknown. Over here, even if it's chaos, it's like, but I know what I'm doing over here. So it'll tell you, no, don't cross that bridge. It's scary. That's just our brains trying to keep us safe. But if we tell ourselves, you know what, it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. I have that trust in myself. I have that faith in myself. And I know that I can figure anything out. And when we have that mindset, then we're able to walk through these things and say, you know what? I know I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I know that I figure anything out and everything's going to be okay. I have faith in myself. I have trust in myself. I believe in myself. And guess what? Everything was okay. But if you don't think that you can, then maybe you're settling. Maybe you're settling. Okay, this may call you out. I don't know. But is the highlight of your day when you have that glass of wine, when you have your dinner, when you, I don't know, go to bed? Is that the highlight of your day? And again, there are tons of variables. You may say, I just wanted this time so that I could break bread with my family and have the few minutes. And I look forward to my dinner every day. And I'm a foodie and this, that, and the other. Okay. Okay. All right. And I'm not saying that that's not the highlight. I'm not saying that that's not an amazing time that we need to celebrate. But do you find that every single day you're like, my highlight is this glass of wine? I just want to sit here with this wine and be like, oh, the day was so crazy. I just need this wine. And if so, maybe ask yourself, and these are just questions. It doesn't mean that I'm right. I would welcome any conversations around them. And there are people that are going to say, nope, Jen, I disagree with you for saying that. Okay. And that's okay. But just use it as food for thought. Is that maybe telling you that you're settling? Be real with yourself. Are you asking yourself, are you saying someday, one day, yeah, I can't do this. I'll never get there. If you're telling yourself those things and you're only looking forward to that glass of wine, then maybe you're settling. Or maybe that's just where you want to be in life. I don't know. Only you can decide. These are just questions we can ask ourselves. So What can we do? We've got a few minutes left. What can we do to work ourselves out of this mode of settling? Well, first of all, you got to know where you're going. So, what are the things that you want to accomplish? Start to make a list. All of those one day, someday, write them down on a piece of paper. Start to visualize. We're going to do a week where we manifest things. That'll be coming up soon. I'm really excited for it. So we're going to look at what do we want our life to look like? So just start to go through. We're not going to do it here today, but just start to write some things down. And when we see things on paper, it changes. It changes the way that we, because it's like it's permanent. So start to see things. And then it's not all bouncing up, rattling around up in your cage up here. Yeah, just write some things down and see, okay, where do I want to be? Because we got to see where we're starting. So write down where you're starting, write down where you want to go, and then you can create everything in between. So write some things down. All right. Don't think, stop overthinking and just start doing. What's the worst that's going to happen? It doesn't turn out. So what? Remember, we talked about this. It's just a lesson to do it better the next time. Or it's a course correction. Either way, you are growing. So just give it a try. I've tried tons of things and maybe it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. And that's okay. I'm like, oh, I tried it. I tried, fine, whatever. And then I move on. So just start giving it a try. Test your abilities, your skills. Start to give yourself that confidence. But stop thinking. Don't overthink these things. Just start doing. Find yourself a mentor. This is really important. Every mentor, coach, whatever you want to call them, I have a coach. My coach has a coach. It's so important to have that third party, just non-biased person in your life that can help give you guidance, that can ask you powerful questions, that can hold you accountable, that maybe has experience in whatever you're trying to do. It's so important to have that. Just to talk through things, because sometimes you're so close. It's like a Monet. You are so close to whatever it is that you're doing that you can't see the full picture. But your mentor is over here looking at the full picture like, hey, did you think about this? And you're like, whoa, let me take a step back. And it's helpful. So think about getting a mentor, think about getting a coach. And there are tons, and you don't have to be physically face to face now that we're in this virtual world. I'm a coach. If you want to contact me, contact me. If you want to find someone else, but find someone else that you resonate with. That would be my suggestion. Find a group of people that you relate to or that you want to be like, because they're going to help to pull you up. Maybe the people that you're surrounding yourself by are also complacent or are also stuck or are also settling. So find those people that are ambitious and start to feed off of their energy. It'll change so much. You are who you surround yourself by. So start to take a look at some of those. And lastly, let's practice a little bit of self-love here so that you know that you're worth it, so that you know that you are valuable, so that you know that you deserve all of these things, not just tomorrow, but today. It's so self-love, man, that's what changed my entire life. When we can tap into that part of ourselves where we're like, wow, I am worth it. I am valuable. I love myself for who I am. Boy, then you start to build your confidence. And with confidence, you can do anything. You can do anything. I'm about to release a book called Confidence is Queen. So stay tuned. That's coming here in the next month. I am so excited for it. And it's all about how confidence is an inside job. But you don't get confidence if you don't have self-love. So start to practice self-love, and that's going to show you so many areas within your life, including if you're settling, where maybe you need to focus on. So there you have it. Some food for thought. Are you settling in your own life? I can't be the answer to that. I just threw out some questions. You may say, yes, I agree with some of those. No, that doesn't apply to me. I don't even like that answer because I really like my wine every night. And that does make me happy. I don't know what it was for you, but I'm super curious. So drop your comments in the chat and feel free to reach out to me on higherandheels.com or higherandheels@gmail.com. And we can collab that way as well. So I am Jen Sugarmeyer. We are here 5 days a week. I would love if you would subscribe. Really, if you subscribe, then we can help blow up this algorithm so that we can have other people tapping into these powerful messages that we have 5 days a week so that they can start to tap into their limitless potential as well. That is what we want because all ships rise with the tide. All right. I will see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. And remember, ask yourself, how are you feeling? And if it's not where you want to be, where do you want to be? And let's get that roadmap to get there. All right. I'll see you here tomorrow. Cheers.